Hello subscribers and non-subscribers, and welcome back to Let's Play Victoria 2. So, in this part we're going to be dealing with a bit of a communist revolution within our empire, which is going to be a fairly normal occurrence. That and with the periodic Jacobin uprising. Now, after that we will be focusing on building up our army so we can deal with the war of containment that will inevitably happen. However, we should only have to deal with one, which will be declared on us by France, which isn't going to be too big of an issue, because France is allied with the Russians, who we currently have a separate truce with, and so the Russians will not get involved. Let me double check my dates here. No. You know what? I don't know, actually. It's supposed to be technically the Russians, but I could have sworn it was the French who declared war on me without the Russians. I don't know. Something will happen. Either way, let's go ahead and build a couple things. So let's build the Kiel Canal. Let's do Die Wacht am Rhein. So let's see, what is this? In 1840, France's then Prime Minister Adolphe Thiers had claimed that the River Rhine constituted the natural eastern border of the French nation, sparking what would later become known as the Rhine Crisis, as this was perceived in Germany as a threat to Prussian possessions on the western bank of the Rhine. In response to these events, the poet and merchant Max Schenkenberger wrote a patriotic poem calling on the fatherland to remain calm, for, as the poem says, fast and true stands the watch at the Rhine, implying that the German nation would defend the river against any and all French aggression. The poem was put to music in 1854 and became extremely popular in Germany during the Franco-Prussian War of 1870-71. Let's just ignore that it's 1892. Let's see. I'm not going to try to pronounce it. As a monument in the Niederwald Park, Hesse, Germany. The monument's central figure is a 10-meter high statue of Germania, the personification of the German nation, holding afloat the recovered imperial crown of Germany, flanked by two statues representing war and peace respectively. Built between 1871 and 1883, the monument was commissioned after the Franco-Prussian War to commemorate the founding of the German Empire. Let us all rejoice in the glory of our nation united by erecting a monument to stand the tests of time. And that gets a little bit less infamy. This is the reason why we should, in theory, only have to fight a single war of containment. The North Sea island of Heligoland became a British possession during the Napoleonic Wars, ceded formerly by Denmark in the 1814 Treaty of Kiel. After the unification of Germany, the island became an object of desire for the German Empire, as the few inhabitants of the island were by and large Germans. Let's do von Moltke's reform. So in 1857, Helmuth von Moltke... You know, I'm not going to bother reading this. It's far too much reading right now that I've had to do for now. So if you want to read this, just go and pause the video. I'll hold for a little bit so you get a little bit of time. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and accept. So this will decrease supply consumption, increase organization regain rate, increase land organization, land starting experience, and give us a little bit of prestige. And this will last until 1922. Not quite until the end of the game. The game ends right at the end of 1935. Let's go ahead and rename Colmar, Strasbourg, and Alsace-Lorraine to the German versions of them, of Colmar with a K, Strasbourg, and Alsace-Lorraine, or Alsace-Lotharingen. And we'll leave the rest of those as is. What are we researching right now? Steel turbine. No. Let's research Raider group doctrine. And now let's take care of this. Actually, just go there and you will do that. Actually, no, you take care of those. You will take care of those. I need to sort of rethink how I will have these guys take care of this issue. Okay, and let's just queue up a bunch of troops. So should be 8. Double check I'm doing this correctly. Yes, 8 to 10. And no. Everybody just go down to Vienna. And I did not actually start my timer. Let's go and do that now. There we go. I'll ask my I'll ask my satellite for military access just to ensure that I have it. And I didn't realize there was a crisis going on, but Russia has acquired the Yukon territory from, I guess, the US. Now we do need to build up our navy, but we'll do that after this war of containment is over. I think that's probably the easiest time to do it. And just to double check that I didn't miss anything else, once you get to there, I'm going to set you to hunt rebels. So you siege back anything that they siege. The reason I'm doing that is because, well, it's kind of hard to see occupied rebel territories because it's a sort of grayish color on a grayish color. Yeah, they shouldn't have done that. They should have really picked a color that is much harder to notice. We'll leave those guys be because we kind of need to do some reforms if we want to minimize the Jacobin rebels. They're sort of me a pain if they're allowed to just run free and be annoying. Actually, I'm also going to go ahead and queue up a second army while the first one gets built as well. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If I did my math correctly, I'm pretty sure that's 10. I might have accidentally clicked one less, or maybe even one more than I originally thought. That gets me a war with the... now this is an interesting one. I could go to war with the Ottomans to force them to repay their debt, which gets me a war with the... potentially gets me a war with the Russians, preventing them from declaring the war of containment on me. But I don't really care to go and deal with Russia, Spain, Moldavia, and Wallachia, or however the hell it's pronounced. So I'm not going to do anything about that. Also, I'm going to go ahead and hide building construction and factory construction because they're just sort of cluttering our menu. Yeah, excuse me. Wonderful. Let's upgrade our dockyards, or at least the ones that we can upgrade, because some of these dockyards are better than what we actually have. Let's get steel steamers. Also turn off hunt rebels on you. Now what do you need? You need 2 infantry. Out of curiosity, are you infantry? One of you is. I'm gonna just, I think, steal an infantry. Nope, didn't mean to mobilize, damn. I'm gonna steal an artillery. I'm gonna steal 2 infantry. For this guy up here. Just to make life a little bit easier. Now, one thing I would love to have be added in a inevitable, well, hopefully inevitable Vicky 3 is something similar to Stellaris's fleet templates. I'd like to be able to just basically create an army template and then just tell the game to build that, and it'll merge new troops up to whatever the fleet template is. So I can just queue up a whole bunch of armies to be sent to Vienna or wherever, and it'll build the troops wherever and then merge them all there, but it'll only merge them up to whatever the fleet template is. So if it's 8 infantry, 2 cavalry, and 10 artillery, it'll make sure to group them in that exact format. Sadly, Vicky 2 doesn't support that. Because it is an older Paradox game. Russia's got some communists. They will likely end up, well, if it goes anything like my test run, they will end up forming the Soviet Union. yet. Nobody wants an alliance with me until I am under 25 infamy. Come on, give me one more artillery so I can at least spit out one army. There we go. Well, I mean, technically I should probably... Nah, Russia's the bigger deal. Actually, since my truce expires with Russia first, I'm gonna go ahead and send all my troops over to the Russian border. Because they're gonna be one that declares the war on me. Wonderful. Now this is, it should be noted, annoyingly, because the game doesn't have a ability for me to destroy a naval base, and there's already a naval base here in the Schleswig-Holstein region, I cannot build one in Kiel, and thus I do not get the benefit of the plus 50% ship repair speed and minus 5% local ship build time in Kiel. I'll still take it, just to get the prestige for it, but yeah, I don't actually benefit from that, because it doesn't affect the region it specifically affects, or the state it specifically affects the province of Kiel. We're also going to go ahead and get blue and brown water schools, so we can take advantage of that. Because, yeah, once, like I said, once this War of Containment's over, we're going to be building up our navy, modernizing it, because we've still got a bunch of man-o'-wars and frigates, so ships of sail. Serving as our navy, and, well, they're kind of crap. So yeah, we're gonna try and take care of that. Oh, some Polish nationals in Russia. And the truce is what, May? Yes, May 22nd. Now, Russia is allied to the UK, which is fine, because if I can just siege enough of Russia, I can force Russia to force the UK to give me Heligoland. I have a hard time saying that for some reason, I don't know why. Man is clearly dangerous. Let's try and get some consciousness. And they probably will wait until June to actually declare the war. Or maybe even July. As long as they don't wait until sometime in late December, I'm fine. I don't know, pretend that it rains. There we go. They waited till August, which is a little surprising how long they waited. But either way, okay, so you march there, you march there, you march there. Thought I had sent an army to Tarnow, but apparently not. We're gonna have gaps. Let's see, where are my gaps gonna be? Here, here, and here. This is the whole reason for me building up my army, but we weren't able to quite build it up fast enough. And Russia is leading it, this war, which is actually good for us. So force the British to give me that. And in theory, once we get to roughly 30% war score, I should be able to force Russia to tell the British to give me what I want. Ooh, Scandinavia also declared their own war against me. I assume it's for Schleswig, right? Yes, it's always for Schleswig. That's... Oh, that's the only thing they know how to do, is declare war for Schleswig. We'll take care of that. That can wait, because, well, they're not really that big of a deal, if we're being honest. British probably won't really invade us, because, well, I'll be honest with you, the British are a little on the slow side. That's been my personal experience in this game, is that the British are a little slow. When it comes to getting involved in mainland Europe, unless it's invading the French. Then they're able to hop right in very quickly. Yeah, see, there we go. I can already do this. And I'm going to take it because I want this war to be over. I don't want to have to deal with more wars of containment. So I'm not going to take anything off of the Russians. I'm only going to take Heligoland. And the reality is I should only need like maybe 3 armies. You know what? All of you guys, get yourselves in position over here. These are the 3 armies I'll send over there. You might want to wait. Pull back a little. See, an old tired soldier. Since I was a boy for all my life, I marched up and down and back and forth. I marched with the firm conviction that I would die young in service of the country that I hold dearer than any other under the sun. Yet now, when my life draws to more peaceful ends, I cannot help but notice that I am old. While life expectancies in the German Empire are decidedly on the increase, the unfortunate interaction between a relatively low wage and equally low pensions means that very few people can afford to make preparations for an old age, where they are no longer capable of working, the educated middle classes would prefer to see a rise in minimum wage, while the aristocracy argues in favor of raising pensions. Well, I mean, I concur with the honorable gentleman. Let's go for an acceptable minimum wage, which is actually a pretty massive increase from no minimum wage to, having a minimum wage, and it's pretty high. It really is. Naval bases, wonderful. Let's research some other stuff. Go back him up, because he clearly needs it. Send you there. Upgrade our forts. And I've got some places here that I need to requeue up upgrading forts in. Okay. And that one infantry is almost done. Work harder. Let's try and take care of the militancy issue we have. Now, the French might declare war on us. I'm kind of hoping they take long enough that I get below 25. In which case they might still declare war on us for Alsace. But I'm hopeful that they won't. Because I just don't really feel like dealing with it. I'm going to send an army down to Milan. I actually need one more. I technically need 5 armies down here in Italy, which is very annoying. And they are going to declare war on us. And it is actually for Alsace rather than a war of containment, which I'm fine with. Let's outfit an expedition. Now, annoyingly, Belgium is going to be invading me. And a lot of my troops aren't quite in position to take care of these. No. Okay, I'm going to send you there, like that. Shit, Italy just got formed. Italy should become a great power. They typically do. They're just sort of going to need a moment. Also, I don't know why the Papal States are... It's still showing as if the Papal States exist. The Papal States shouldn't exist. Yeah, they don't, but apparently they still have armies because, you know, logic. Oh shit. Damn. Go through there. God damn it, let me march over there and save my... God damn it, we lost an entire army because I wasn't paying attention and I wasn't able to get troops over there. Where the fuck? There we go. Game took a moment to decide to give me my armies back. Now, we'll win this, it'll be fine. It's a bit of an annoyance. Especially since we lost that entire army. But that's about all it is an annoyance. There we go. Tell all my armies to march as far into my land as I can, and now we reorganize. There we go, try again. You know what, to speed this up, I typically don't do this, but I'm gonna go ahead and just kick up buying guns, well, small arms, artillery, canned food, I think it's liquor, and wine. Also gonna go ahead and queue up another army. Okay, what do the people want in terms of social reforms? In terms of social reforms, they want a basic school system. I can give you that. Yeah, there we go. Italy's actually kind of weak. I think it's because Two Sicilies is a great power, and so it didn't get swallowed up when Italy got formed. So this Italy is pretty much just northern and central Italy. It's missing the entire southern half of Italy, which is more powerful than the northern half. Yeah. Granted, Italy is also missing like half of northern Italy. So, yeah. That ain't helping them. Militarily, how far am I behind number one, which of course is Russia? Not very far, actually. Seriously, we haven't discovered carriers yet? The game's just taking forever to discover that, apparently. Granted, we also didn't have cheap steel research, so that probably wasn't helping a whole lot. Let's get High Seas Battle Fleet. I could build railroads in Italy if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. Why would I help them? And are you not buying? You're not buying my damn wine. Buy me my damn wine and liquor, game. Thank you. Now I will set these all back to automated. I just need to do that so I could get a big influx temporarily. And there's my timer, although this part has already technically gone a little bit past. Membership in the International Olympic Committee. I can either take a prestige hit or lose a little bit of money that I'll gain back very quickly. And gain prestige. I'll take the gaining prestige for a tiny amount of money, because it really is a tiny amount of money for us. It's basically 5 days worth of waiting. Now I believe I mentioned it before. As the German Empire, or specifically Großdeutschland, you are super overpowered. You really are. Like, you have to try to screw it up if you're gonna lose anything. That's just how overpowered Großdeutschland is compared to, I want to say, probably most powers. Russia's probably not too far behind if you can manage to actually industrialize and build up a decent military and industrial base, but you kind of struggle with the industrialization part as Russia. Now I could build battleships, or I can wait. Battleships aren't really worth it, all things considered. I will build some cruisers once we have the ability to do that, but the game seems somewhat reluctant to allow me to build cruisers. Because it just doesn't want to research it, apparently. We have a 7% chance of discovering it. I assume it's a daily chance, but I don't know for certain. Some Egyptian nationalists. Really? There we go. I was about to say, I'm like, are you really not going to take care of that? Although Italy is quickly gaining on Two Sicilies. I'm not too surprised by that, though. Two Sicilies is socialist, and in this game, even under the AI, socialists tend to fail miserably when it comes to particularly building industry. Just the way the game works, I guess. Now the game's not auto-merging these guys now, for whatever reason. Any of you artillery? Looks like all of you are artillery, actually, which is good. go. Select you. Well, I guess I should probably put troops on the Russia front. Since if anyone's going to be declaring war on me, it's going to be coming from the east or the south. More so, the east. And then we have the option of either attending or not attending the first Olympic Games and every other subsequent Olympic Games. You improve relations with your neighbors and gain prestige if you join. You lose prestige and decrease your relations with all your neighbors if you decide not to join. There's literally no reason not to attend. If there was some gimmick that was like, if you don't attend, or if you decide to attend, you can't declare war on your neighbors for a year or something, then sure, I can understand choosing not to attend, but because there's no such gimmick like that, there's literally no reason not to attend. Also, while that army is being built, let's go and queue up another army. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Believe I got that right, but again, sometimes I count or click a little too fast, and so I might have been off. Either way, we're going to end this part here. And next part, we will be continuing to build up our military. We will be, yes, next part we should be below 25 infamy by the end of that part. And we will be able to actually ally with a bunch of people that we have in our spheres and a couple of other great powers. And we will probably have a crisis war that inevitably breaks out in the nearish future. The most likely place is looking to be either Duro, which is where it occurred in all of my test runs. However, it could also potentially be Bulgarian liberation or Greek unification or even Albanian liberation. Those are all the most likely areas for something to occur. We'll see what ends up happening, however. But until next time, as always, like, fair, comment, subscribe, share, and I will see you all then. But until then, a goodbye and farewell. Let me make sure I save, because I would forget to do that and that would suck.